Just before we get started, we want to give you an overview of what today's conversation will be about. One, we want to thank Narcy Jackson, who is joining us today, and you'll hear more about the wonderful work that Narcy is doing in the community, specifically in helping students get to the next level, which is their career after they leave high school. And that could be here at CU Boulder or other institutions of higher learning, where they will continue to grow in their self-identity and also as athletes find their path as they continue to navigate where do I end up after high school and where do I go after college or to college. And so we're so excited that Athletics and Beyond, which is a family wellness center, operates in Montbello, Colorado, which is predominantly a Black and Hispanic community. And not only does Narcy does good work to empower our students and their students to continue beyond thinking their identity as athletics, but Narcy is also the executive director of Athletics and Beyond, and we'll be sharing today with you all how Athletics and Beyond is important to the economic, social, and emotional growth of student athletes, primarily in Colorado here at Montbello. So with that in mind, we want to remind you that Narcy's work is not just to be a phenomenal coach and empower students beyond that, but is also able to connect students to academics, career exploration, and continue to nurture every identity that these students hold. With the organization has created a sustained model that continues to work in the community to inspire organizations like CU Boulder to continue to help our students grow beyond their imagination. So we're so excited to have you here today, Narcy, and to learn more about how we can get involved with Athletics and Beyond, and also serve students while we are bringing them here to see Boulder, and also hoping that they go elsewhere as well to other organizations. Sorry, y'all. I don't know why I am so excited, but I just want to get started. So we're going to go ahead and pass it over to Marisha, who is going to start us off with the land acknowledgement. But again, we will be recording this session. So we're going to hit record and hope that you can get engaged by using the chat or even the private messaging to let Narcy know what questions you have, comments, emojis. We welcome all of it. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to you, Marisha, to do our land acknowledgement. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us.
Hi, everyone. My name is Marisha Lopez. I am the Program Manager for Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, and I will be leading us through our land acknowledgement. We invite you to take a moment to reflect on your relationship to this land of Boulder and relationship to local Indigenous communities as we are guided by the university's land acknowledgement. The University of Colorado Boulder honors and recognizes the many contributions of Indigenous people in our state and in stewardship to land before the establishment of the state into this present moment. CU Boulder humbly acknowledges that it is located on the traditional and current homelands of the Cheyenne, Arapaho, Ute, and many other Native nations and communities. The violent forced removal of Native people from these territories has caused devastating and lasting impacts. These histories have brought us to the present moment wherein the University of Colorado Boulder is determined to commit to improving and enhancing relationships with Indigenous communities and issues locally and globally. We will do this by recognizing and amplifying the voices of Indigenous CU Boulder students, staff, and faculty, educating, conducting research, supporting student success, and integrating Indigenous knowledge, and lastly, consulting, engaging, and working collaboratively with Native communities. And Patricia will put a few links in the chat for you all to explore if you'd like to continue your education on this. And now we can move on to Mr. Narcy Jackson's bio. Narcy Jackson is a graduate of the Denver Foundation's Executive Directors of Color Institute and JVA Consulting's Executive Directors Academy. Under the leadership of Coach Narcy, Athletics and Beyond grew from $25,000 annual budget in 2009 to over $180,000 in 2014. He's a United States Army veteran, and his education is in accounting from CU Denver. Mr. Jackson has over 20 years of corporate accounting experience. He is the co-founder and executive director of Athletics and Beyond. AMB focuses on 4 programming areas: educational success, life skill building, athletic development, and career options. Initially, A and B focused primarily on developing students' athletic abilities, but it became quite clear that students were lacking the skills to succeed in college and in life. The reality was they were not connecting academics, life skills, community engagement, and career development with their athletic ability. So I hope you all will join me in welcoming Narcy Jackson.
Ooh, thank you, Narcy, again for joining us. And before we get started, just want to share a video if that's okay, and then we'll pass it back to you, Narcy. But thank you again so much for joining us. If y'all can.
Thank you. So I think that pictures are worth 1,000 words. So again, my name is Narcy Jackson. I'm the co-founder and the executive director of Athletics Beyond. We've been doing this since 2005, and we didn't get our first facility to do all the services that you see, and activities that we have until May of 2021. So it took us that long, 2005 to just receive access to the resources that are available for us to open up a drop-in all-in-one shop. So we'll go to our PowerPoint, and I just kind of talk a little bit more about some of the programming and things that we have going on here in Colorado. But Montbello is a community that's probably the most diverse community in Colorado. In Montbello, Aurora is also kind of right in that area, but that's because a lot of our families that have been displaced from gentrification and other financial strains that have been placed on families with today's economy have forced a lot of our families to move out to Aurora. So again, thank you. And my name is Narcy Jackson. This is who we are right here. The picture that you see on the left those are goals that we're setting. The picture that you see at the very bottom, the young man with the economic flow chart, that young man's name is Aiden Cook. He's one of our coach's son who just got accepted into CU. So he just got accepted. He's a senior right now. I think he carries a 4.6 GPA. He would love to go to CU, and I would love to get resources for him and his family on how he can make sure that the financial strain doesn't hold him back. So we can go to the next slide. And at any point in time, anybody can stop us and then I can answer questions during this presentation on stuff. But Montbello, our center is very intentional with representation. We believe that representation is everything. What our kids see, hear, and mimic are people that look most like them. And so this is our staff. Coach Kyle Reese is our program director. He's been with us since we opened our center in 21, but he volunteered for like 2 or 3 years prior to that. Maya Reese is a world-class sprinter. She's still running track at Metro State. Matter of fact, she just hit another record this past weekend. Amani Jackson is the office manager right now, and she's also trying to be a real estate agent as well as a interior design person. Will Owens is in our marketing department. He redesigned our new look on our website where we transform, moved from a .com to a .org. And if what you can see there in our staff, and then we have Vicky, she's a high school student that's not in this picture, but Vicky is a high school student that we hired over at our summer intern work and all that stuff. So once again, we rehire and bring and consult and with people that most look like our kids so they can see people in those positions. Does anybody have anything that they'd like to ask so far? Okay. So we'll go on. So what we'll do real quick is so this is the structure and really our why and our how, right? And everything that we do. We were established in 2005 because of a need. The NBA All-Star Week came into Colorado. We knew people would fly into DIA, get on I-70, go down to the Pepsi Center, and all of that revenue that was generated off the backs of those that were on the court playing basketball, that were entertaining everybody, those dollars would go and would pass right over that community. And so, and then our kids walk around with hoop dreams or basketball dreams, football dreams, that if I do XYZ, I'm going to be a millionaire. And a lot of times we find that our kids aren't connecting the academic portion as well as character portion. So that's where the social emotional skill development is something that we really have a high focus on. The young people that you saw on our last page is part of our workforce development. Will and Maya, they were standout athletes, and that came to an end. They maxed out with that, and then they came to the office and I'm looking for a job. I'm trying to do this and that. So we was able to hire them by having a facility in Montbello, which is located at 4990 Nome Street. I'll put it in a chat box as well so it can be shared. But ways that we can be supported is just come in. It's a drop-in where you can come in and you can train on the equipment. You'll see that through the tour. You can participate, you can volunteer. We run a STEM program over the summer. We want to make that year long. We have a STEAM program. We just want to make sure that our kids are able to see not only people that look like them, but other people that are just compassionate and care about humanity that we would like to have involved. And so with that being said, so I'll finish this. So our structure is our board of directors are all Colorado natives. They're military veterans, they're college graduates, they're Denver Public School graduates. They're just very passionate about the community, and we work from a grassroots level up, which means we are not transactional. We have to be transactional in order to pay bills, but we are relationship based first and then transactional. Those two can work, they can work interchangeably, but sometimes people are only transactional, which is where the disconnect comes with a lot of people in our community. Does anybody have any questions? Or would you like to know more? Maybe something I didn't cover?
We do have a question from someone from one of our participants, and they want to know, is there a particular age range for your students?
We have kids as young as 4 years old all the way to 80 years old that come into our center. We are kid focused and kid centered though. We are, our primary ages that we have are, I would say, grades 6 through 12. That's the meat of who we work with on a daily basis. But our center is designed, once again, to really build a bridge between our young and our seniors. And a lot of times in the community, we have that gap. Our seniors can teach our young a lot. Our young can teach our seniors a lot. So we have that bridge. But a large percentage of who comes into our center, they're grade school, middle school, and high school.
Welcome to Athletics Beyond Family and Wellness Center, home of the nonprofit organization Athletics Beyond. Come inside, let's take a tour. Well, inside here is our lobby area. This is where we check in everybody who comes through the door, whether it be parents, whether it be kids, whether it be people coming through for meetings. On this wall right here, this is where we post all of our flyers for our events, or our classes that we have in the facility, whether it be yoga class, My Spark, award shows, even promoting some local businesses, tumbling, etc. Right here on this wall, we have one of our kids' parents paint this mural. This pretty much gives a background story to what Athletics Beyond is about: leadership, developing kids, football, boxing, all the sports, your education, Black people, Hispanic people, brown people. We're a community. So this pretty much sums up our whole story behind us. Right here, vending machine, one of our coaches and alumni, they own this machine, so this pretty much is a message to all the kids that come through here that we're trying to funnel all the money, keep all the money together as a community. Defy Water, Terrell Davis, he sponsors us with the Defy Water, so we sell this here at the facility. We also bring it to the events, things of that nature. Right here is where just security cameras, just to keep an eye on the gym, outside the gym, so we know everything's functioning well, so we know there ain't no funny business. Like I said earlier, right here is where we check in. We check our clients in through our iPads via Gym Master. So you usually just have to come in, type in your name. See, type in your name. We'll do.
Hey.
Press the button.
Hey. You're doing all right?
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know if you caught that, but that's how we check in people. This is Maya, our receptionist. She goes to Metro State. She's a pretty dope track athlete. Check her out. Right here is where we have some of our gear, some of the merch that we sell. So 7x17 Colorado, our football program. We had a boxing event a couple months ago, Mardi Gras themes. It was a great turnout. It was our very first one, and a lot of people showed up and supported. It was about 25 fights, 25 belts on the line. So it was pretty dope. Some swag that we've had over the years, strong women and gentlemen. Our STEM program. Run A and B, and just a little bit of everything. Maya Nelson. Yep. So we come through here. This is our Hall of Fame wall. This is pretty much all the athletes that have came through Athletics Beyond. Not all of them, we still working on it, but this is pretty much, you guys get a gist of the kids that have came through here, whether it be football coaches, doctors, lawyers, some professional athletes. Some of these guys are still coaching with us and still around. Like I mentioned earlier, Maya Nelson, an Olympic athlete, she comes through and has camps, etc. So follow me through here. Room.
The Samsung S24 is here, and this is a mouse case. Oh.
That's Victoria, another one of our receptionists. She's a senior at South High School. She just got offered the other day to play basketball overseas. That's Josiah, one of our athletes. He runs track, plays basketball. He's here daily. So yeah, this is the Davari Armstrong room dedicated to Davari, one of our kids that has passed away. So in memory of him, we just named this room after him. So this is our smart board, and here we have yoga class, we have adult fitness classes, we have business meetings, team meetings, just a little bit of everything, even film study for teams such as basketball, football. So it's our all-purpose room. We let people come in and rent it out as well. So just try to make this for the whole community. So it's our all-purpose room. Oh, my fault. So every summer we have a STEM program for our kids. If you have a membership at Athletics and Beyond, you pretty much have free access to our STEM program. So this past summer, theme was computer gaming. So our kids who participated, they helped us build PCs. And so now we have 2 computers for here where you can come in, study or just game, PC gaming. Right here, refrigerator, I'm not gonna open it, but it's our fridge. This is where we get free meals at. Free meals are donated to us every day as a partnership. We get milk, we get tamales, we get salads, just any and everything. And it's available for the kids who come in for free. After workouts, available for the workers, things of that nature. We showing it here. So in here, it's pretty much our storage room for right now, but at a point it was a recovery room for our PT, Miss Trill Benjamin. Usually, you just call her up and schedule an appointment and you come in, get a massage, deep tissue massage, whatever the case is. But since that hasn't been active for a while, we just decide, because we need more space, run out of space. This is where we put what we have. And that's also the hottest in coach's room in the building. So, you know, depending on what day, how you feeling, that's what it is. So in here is where the magic happens. So as I mentioned earlier, Athletics Beyond, we use sports as a tool pretty much to help the kids try to figure out what they want to do in life. Not only are we here for the athletic side, but we're also here for the academic side and just trying to encourage our kids to be pillars of the community. So other stuff that we like to do is, you know, give out school supplies, give out shoes, give out clothes. Even when it's snowing on the ground, we advocate our kids to go out and go help their neighbors shovel snow. But back to the athletic side, we have a boxing program, we have a football program, we have a track program, we have a basketball program, wrestling, tumbling, hopefully baseball. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody else, but otherwise besides those sports, there's personal trainers and coaches in each sport. So even if you don't want to participate in our programs, you know, we have coaches who will help you develop your skills in the ring, in the field, on and off, whatever you need. Oh, I'll talk about that. So for boxing, this is pretty much the history of our boxers. Our boxing coach, Coach Everett Elliston. He's been with Athletes Beyond since the beginning. Coach on all three levels. His son was one fight away from the Olympics. Since then, he has coached and trained other Olympic fighters and other championship fighters like Jorge. I don't think we mentioned him in the video from our athletic walk, but Jorge's been here from the beginning. I think he's won about 3 or 4 tournaments this summer, and he's still active. He's still young as well, too. This is the information for this True Benjamin. Certifications for Coach E. So y'all know that every coach that we have in here, you know, they're certified at what they do. They've been doing it for years, CPR certified, things of that nature that we try to encourage all our coaches to get since they're around kids all the time. I'll take it right here. Some artwork. So the same parent, I can't think of his name right now. My fault, bro, but you know who you are. You did a great job. He helped us do the mural in there. He also helped us with this mural right here, representing TCO, pretty much the foundation of Athletics Beyond. When Athletics Beyond started, football was the main thing. And as we brought over the years, as you guys will see, you know, we've expanded in different areas and different sports so we can bring in more kids and more unity. And so all the kids can funnel through all the programs. If they don't want to do football, they'll do boxing, et cetera, et cetera. Today's Wednesday, so Spring 50, our track program, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. They have a program, fall and winter strength and conditioning program that they do every year. So this is just the beginning. They like to warm up. So in this area, you're going to see, you know, foam rollers, you're going to see treadmills, you're going to see bikes, just things to recover, to help the body warm up before they start getting into it. Another dedication to our alumni. A few journeys that were able to flags.
A wall of fame.
Wall of Fame. That's me. Sal Woods, he's the head of Spring 50 and our track and field program here. China, then her sister Maya, who you seen earlier. Stairs, we got bikes, we got rollers, we got the treadmills, with everything. Some football jug machine, football players, receivers, DBs, whatever, our coaches use these, whether it be for football practice or whether it be for personal training. Some tumbling here. TVs. So usually, you know, when it gets busy throughout the week, it's around like about 5:30 until closing time at 8. So we use the TVs pretty much to brand ourselves. We have our YouTube videos up. Our photographer, the videographer, Jason Thompson, another alumni. He was an all-state receiver. Now he does our video work, all of our visual work for the most part. So we'll have videos, highlighting some different things that we've done, whether it be TCO, whether it be main events that we've had here, whatever the case is. And then even announcements and stuff. We got a team as well. Here, our baseball page. For our baseball team, Athletics Beyond Baseball Club. They have their packaging here. You can bring this all the way back, literally probably down to where they're at, if I'm not mistaken. That's just, like I said, that's where they hit the baseball at or do whatever they gotta do. I'll take you to the weight room. So one thing we're strategic about is Vertimax. These type of things you can find in gyms about 25 miles plus out. So we wanted to let everybody know that we have it here in Montbello, Northeast Denver. 3 different sets of Vertimaxes. Another thing we were very intentional about was our attachments to the weight room. These, so all 3 sets, so you can come in, get a good lift in, even if you're not a part of a program or you're a kid, as an adult, we offer adult memberships. You can come in and you can work out yourself. Specifically, toward the beginning of the day, where it's usually like this, because like I said, later in the afternoon, when kids get out of school, that's when we'll have track in here. You'll see wrestling in here or tumbling, and you'll see boxing in here. So it gets pretty crowded, and that's when you'll see the need for more space is because we're growing every day. That's pretty much it for over here. Right here is our shooting machine. Individual workouts. This is also something we offer here for the facility. Even if you don't participate in basketball, you can come in here and rent out the machines to use. We have the pad. We usually have the pad right here, and you come in and get shots of. This is our Dr. Dish. Right here is our multi-purpose court. So basketball, tumbling, wrestling, usually whatever. When we did have the boxing events, this is where we put the chairs in. So just whatever you need, you got it right here. Boxing bags, so now we have boxers, professional boxers. So not only do we have, little boxers or beginning boxers, we have intermediate, we have pro boxers that come in here, other boxers that come in from other gyms that spar during the weekend or during the week in general. We had a few Olympic boxers come in here, but we have boxers that are on the verge of signing that also come in here too as well. So one last thing. At the end of the day, it's about the kids that come through here. So this is another wall that appreciates our kids that have came through here, our alumni. Just another way to honor everybody that has helped us pave the way. Just pretty much our success stories. Like I said, we've got coaches, we have doctors, we have visual artists, we have people that have been in the military, the army, and people that still continue their athletic careers as well. And they come through Athletics Beyond and they use these facilities, when they're off season or out of school for summer break or whatever, they come here. This is home for them. You know what I mean? And then in the process of that, whatever kids that come through here, they're here where these kids can physically ask them questions. They can touch them, do whatever they help them out with their workouts, things of that nature. So it's a full circle moment for everybody. And it's here at Athletics Beyond Northeast Denver.
Great. Well, thank you guys. From that tour, does anybody have any questions? I'll go over a few other things, but if anybody has any questions or anything, I'm available to answer those questions. Okay. With that, so again, our program's existed since 2005, and I'm a native of here of Denver, Colorado. I went to Denver East High School and graduated from and went to college at CU Denver. During, I would say, the late 80s, early 90s, there were a lot of things going on in Boulder where we got to a point where just community wise, where we had wanted limited contact with any Boulder or what was going on in Boulder. Boulder was really unique in itself, but we never felt connected to the community as a whole. And so it's good to see that there's, you know, this initiative that's going out from Dr. Patricia and Marissa is, you know, once again, that outreach is necessary because of the community. It's right off I-70. So Montbello, where Montbello is located, is right off I-70 in Peoria and Chambers, right between like a little, about a 10-mile radius and all that stuff. But you can't get to Boulder from DIA unless you pass through Montbello. And so what we're trying to do is build a better bridge and better connection with this relationship that we're establishing, to bring more awareness to our kids. Beyond football, it doesn't hurt right now that there's a celebrity appeal to Boulder, but we're looking at 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, our kids having access and having awareness of what resources are available at CU for those that might be first generation or even second generation students who are coming, who are lower income or have financial challenges that may prevent them from going there. Like I said, I introduced Aiden earlier on in the slide. Aiden's a brilliant young man. And, you know, just speaking with his father and him directly this past weekend, he's in need of resources and who to talk to or where to go. He's already participating in some programs at CU, but if we can, you know, find ways to, because there's money out there, right? We just got to know where to look and what to say and things like that. And having a relationship between athletics and beyond, Montbello as a community, and CU and Boulder as a community, having a relationship and building bridges, I think can really provide more success and more access for our society as a whole. So those are some things why we have a focus area with that. What you saw in the facility, 80% of the kids that come to us want to go into the gym. 20% have interest in things like STEM, STEAM, and things like that. We are trying to balance that out to where it's 50-50. On a given night, like tonight, last night, I think I saw we had 70 kids that were in the center or people that were in the center. Tonight is going to be about the same number. But on Wednesday nights when we do tutoring and stuff like that, we have only 2, maybe 3 kids that are in that. So we're trying to shift the way of thinking. And I think, you know, also, again, with the partnership like this, if anyone wants to volunteer with anything from math, science, English, just whatever those things are, I just think by being present and establishing a relationship with the kids and with the community here, and just being visible in the center, us being more visible in Boulder will help, you know, once again, connect that bridge. I mean, we're less than 30 minutes away from each other, you know, and so there's got to be ways that we can do that. But our community is heavy. If we can go to the next slide.
So before we do, Narcy, we have a question from Mindy, and as a former rugby player myself in college, Mindy is wondering if Narcy, Mindy's currently coaching girls rugby this spring in Central Denver, and is wondering if Athletics and Beyond has a working relationship with Girls Rugby Inc. Yet. If not, would you be interested in getting more information about the organization and what they have to offer and a possible partnership here?
Yes, 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 and yes. So we would love to connect with you. No, we do not have a pre-existing relationship. We would love to establish a relationship. Rugby is a growing sport, especially with us working with football players. Football players are starting to use technique-wise rugby. And then did I hear you? This is women's rugby?
Yes.
That's correct.
That's even more attractive to us because once again, where we feel we're somewhat dropping the ball or could do better is outreach for our young ladies and providing our young ladies with opportunities to excel in whatever sport or whatever passion that they have.
So we'll be connecting you, Narcy and Mindy, afterwards, but we'll also include Narcy's email in the chat so that you all can have it if you have other questions or want to stay connected with Narcy.
That'd be great. So here's a little demographic information about Montbello. It's a travesty. You see on the bottom left slide, you see NCAS, DCIS. Strive Academy. Only in Black and brown communities where you see 3 schools in one campus, where you have middle school kids and grade school kids sharing bathrooms with high school kids. Nowhere else where you see mergers and all that stuff. Montbello right now is under construction to be rebuilt. Community member named Brandon Pryor really pushed for, a traditional high school in Montbello versus all these charter schools in one school and stuff like that. But Montbello is a community that's kind of the last one standing in Colorado. Colorado itself, I think 13% of the state of Colorado are Black. CU, I believe your number's at Boulder, I believe it's at 1 or 2%. Montbello itself is 13%. So we're pocket with gentrification and inflation and all the things that are going on in Denver. A lot of our families are now displaced, where they're living in Thornton and Lakewood, and so all the cultural things like the walls that you saw in our building, the cultural identity and everything has been removed from communities surrounding Montbello and starting to happen at Montbello with the building of the airport. With the airport and technology firms that are coming in and stuff like that. But Montbello is rich in tradition. We have Big John Platt, who is being recognized I think he just got recognized at the Grammys for his work. He's a graduate of Montbello. We've had several people from Montbello going to the pros and play professional ball and stuff like that. So it's rich in tradition, but it's under-resourced. And so bringing awareness to Montbello as a community, our center as a community, is something that we would really, that's a goal that we collectively share with CU, with Dr. Patricia and Marissa. Those are some things that we really share in common, is just finding ways and having better outreach. So if anybody on this panel or anybody in this Zoom call is interested, we are always looking for volunteers. We have a big boxing tournament that's coming up this weekend. It's a big deal for us. It not only brings awareness to our facility, but it keeps our kids active and busy. Where boxers have controlled violence, right? But it's just really funny, entertaining. It's also a fundraiser and a way for us to generate some money to help pay for our boxing team when they travel out of state. We're about to take the community room you saw where we had the banners up there. We would love to have a heavy CU visibility in our center, be it a banner, be it just visibility from, wearing CU apparel where you got the CU on that. Once again, especially while the momentum's high and everybody's talking about CU and everybody's talking about Boulder, especially people of color are now talking about that. I think those would be some great ways that we can do that. So does anybody have any questions from there? But we're always looking for volunteers. We call it the 3 T's: time, talent, and treasure. We're always looking for one of the 3. If you can bring all 3, that's even better. But our kids need to be exposed to positive people that are on this call and beyond, and not just athletes. And I definitely want to really iterate. Our program has a focus of 80% of what we want to do and what we do is beyond. 20% is athletic. We realize when we try to get our kids, we don't tell them that your dream won't come together or that you won't play professional sports. But even if you do, what are you going to do when you retire? Once you max out with whatever level that you play at, be it at CU, be it at another school or whatever, you're now going to start navigating into a career field where you can still, I never knew I would be running a gym. I was always told that I would be an accountant for an accounting firm or somebody else, but nobody talked to our kids about ownership. And that's what we push. And each one of those trainers that you saw come through the door in the video and things like that, once again, they're independent contractors. So it's not only just the staff, which is 6 of us at Athletics Beyond, but it's the trainers, which is another 7 trainers. So you're supporting the local economy by coming here and purchasing maybe food or getting your hair cut or taking in some culture and things like that here in Montbello.
Thank you. And I know you talked about the power of volunteering. And so I appreciate Keith who made it known that Keith wants to volunteer and wants to stay connected. As someone who is learning to better exercise and be more consistent, Keith believes that it would be a good idea to offer volunteer positions where it helps educate individuals on how to do these physical activities. And so Marisha has added Narcy's email to the chat. Please do stay connected and email Coach narcy@hotmail.com if you want to get connected or want to volunteer in any way you can. So I'm going to keep it going, but just wanted to give a shout out to those of you who are interested in collaborating and also volunteering.
Great. So Club Z was a franchise we purchased back in 2018. We own, as a franchise, we own certain zip codes that we can cover. The Club Z is very important. When I first started coaching and started doing Athletics Beyond, a lot of our kids are like, Coach, I'm struggling with math, I'm struggling with science. I mean, those are the two main subject matters in addition to some of the others, and we didn't have answers for them. So when we purchased Club Z, and once again, every Wednesday in that room, that community room, every Wednesday we have free tutoring to the community. And again, our push is to make it attractive to where we get more kids participating in that. So that's what Club Z is. It's a franchise that we own. There's 4 ways that we do it. They can come to the center, we can go to their home, meet at a central location, or do it virtually. Those are options that we have. We're always looking for math tutors. Math and science are 2 subjects that are really consistent in being a struggle for a lot of the kids in our population. And then we can go to the next slide. Career and workforce, career exploration and apprentice program. You saw that firsthand. You saw Will and you saw Maya. That is our outreach to our young adults that are trying to figure out the world, the workforce. They did everything. We had Denver Bronco veteran Ryan Harris and Gaddy from the Daniels Fund, Denver Foundation. Daniels Fund. Woo, sorry about that. The Daniels Fund. She came in and they did a presentation on checkbooks, investing, savings accounts, stock and bond. Just basic introduction classes like that, which is very helpful. So our career exploration also, where we have our staff where they put together their resume again, even though they've been working for us for over 2 years or going on 2 years, we have them redo their resume, create a LinkedIn account, which we're all, once again, we're to get connected with professionals. So that's our work. It's just hands-on work experience. Our intern, which Vicky, you saw in the video, she worked for us over the summer during the summer employment program. We liked her work ethic and her character so much that we brought her on part-time for our program. So that's, once again, us reinvesting into our community beyond sports. And again, this bridge is really important to us. Our connection here is the tour that we had nothing but rave reviews. Nothing but rave reviews from the parents. I want to share this part with everybody. A lot of times if we tell our kids we're going to go up to CU or any school and tell them that they're going to go visit that campus, especially when we're dealing with athletes, what we did not do is I call it tricknology and edutainment. All I told our kids was we were going to CU. Well, we already know all the attention that's come to CU was brought through one individual person, correct? Not just him solely, but he's got a lot to do with the energy that's there. So I didn't tell them that they were going to do a writing class or that they're going to be introduced to that, because if I would have told them, only 2 or 3 would have showed up. So the way that we did it, and then once they got up there and the parents saw what was going on and the kids started asking questions and started getting engaged, we switched from, okay, we're not going on a college tour. What can I learn? This is interesting. I think I want to go to CU from some of the kids that we have and all that stuff that wasn't sports related. And that was big for us. It was really crucial because they're all football players. They all had aspirations like, I want to play for CU. I want to play for CU. But what no one talks to these kids about, none of these additional trainers throughout the city rarely talk to our kids about, what are the academic requirements to get into CU? Yeah, you can play football, you're great, you're 6'5" and you run a sub 440 and all stuff, but you have a 1.9 GPA. That's not going to get you in CU. And so we just want to be realistic with our kids. And again, it's called student athlete or scholar athlete. Scholar athlete, you can go whatever school you want to go to based off of your academic stance versus depending on getting into school off your talents and your treasures. So in summary, you know, again, our goals are to build a connection and a relationship between the two cities that are, like I said, within 30 minutes of each other, to where our kids look at CU's not so hard to get in and really start to explore that there are so many other things that are offered at CU, in addition to the beautiful mountains and the hills and you know, culture that exists there. But there are a lot of opportunities, even for our kids that don't take the pathway of college. You know, if they get into the trades, you know, electricians, home builders, and so forth, Boulder's a vibrant community to get contracts with or to provide services for out there. Or Boulder can, you know, invite and come down and start investing into communities like Montbello, get memberships at the gym. We do fundraisers year long. You know, once again, your time, talent, and treasures are the things that we really seek from anybody, be them from Montbello or be they from Boulder. So, you know, once again, I definitely want to open it up for questions, or maybe there's some things I didn't cover and all that stuff, but we're just, like I said, super excited in celebration. For me, this is my little 2 cents, and sometimes I get really whatever, but my 2 cents is, this is not Black History Month for me. Whatever happened from a Black person 10 years ago or 20 years ago, 100 years ago was history. Same thing with Hispanic history or Asian history or any history. History is history. And yes, I'm glad that they acknowledge the month and so forth, but we all collectively come from the same hue. You know, we just all come from the same place, and it would be great that we don't have discussions of diversity, equity, and inclusion, but we have to have these tough conversations because there have been some barriers, there's been some history. We talked about our indigenous people in Boulder. I guarantee you the population of our indigenous brothers and sisters is less than that of us Black. You know, how do we change that? And that's through having these types of discussions. That's by having exposure to things that are, once again, if you're going to Boulder and you fly into Denver, you are going right through Montbello to get to Boulder, and you know, stopping off and getting gas or seeing some of the great things that are going on in the community and culture that's going on here is, you know, highly suggested.
So Narcy, I'm smiling because I'm seeing so much love, including someone who is Marissa, who wants to stay connected with you. So we'll be reaching out and building these partnerships. Again, there's so many ways to get involved. I think about my former student, Kevin Saxon, who is, you know, now a champion and leading the Kansas City Chiefs. But to Narcy's point, it's so important for students to see themselves being an athlete, but also beyond that, what can I do if that doesn't work out for me? And so those were some of the difficult conversations that we had to have with them, but also inspirational, right? How can we get you to think outside of being an athlete, which we know is part of your huge identity that you hold, and beyond that, right? What can you do? Like, to Narcy's point, I didn't think I was going to be running a gym. What can I do to continue to do this work? And so if you are someone who is passionate about serving, passionate about giving back, passionate about learning about the community that's surrounding us nearby CU Boulder, please do stay connected with Narcy. And I'm going to stop talking, but I'm going to put Narcy's email in the chat again. Or if you feel like it's better if we connect you, we're happy to do that. Marisha and I are happy to do that. This is a partnership we value. And while the Office of Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion does not only focus on supporting students or athletes, we want to build anyone who wants to be a part of this community. So we really are appreciative of all the work that you're doing, Narcy, to get us to be a part of this work with you, and super excited to connect you and the students to the larger campus, right? So if you are not in A&S and you want to get involved, please do consider bringing the students and hosting a workshop where you teach them about the work that you're doing in your department, your division, or the area of work that you're doing here at CU Boulder. So let me stop talking, passing it back to you, Narcy. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you. I mean, once again, what an honor. And I'm just excited. Like I said, I'm still feeling the energy from our visit up to Boulder. And you know, hopefully we make that annual, right? Around January, February of every year. We bring our kids up to Boulder, and I'll probably have to be more creative too, for the kids that experience it this year. But you know, once again, we're here, you know, athleticsbeyond.org. You can find out some of our work. I've also got Athletics Beyond was also invited to be on 9 News in recognition of Black History Month. But I feel the ball got started off this relationship right here. As far as you know, thinking about it, like we are within 20. I don't think in the state of Colorado there is a Black-owned gym that's a nonprofit that is kid first. You go to if you find a gym in any neighborhood, you'll find out that it's adult first. If you find a place that has kids, they don't have the academic component, or they don't have the interchange between adults and seniors and our kids. So we're rare in what we're doing, and it really sunk in with me like this morning, getting mentally prepared for this, that we are groundbreakers. We're doing something that has not been done. You know, once again, when we was trying to get a facility, you know, prior to George Floyd and prior to COVID, the doors were slammed in our face and said it wouldn't work. Right now, we've outgrown the building and facility because we are meeting our community, we're meeting our kids where they are. And once again, I challenge, if somebody knows of one, I would definitely love to know about where that center is, but a full wraparound services that we provide with the social, emotional, cultural relevancy, and then athletic components of that and the academic components of that in one building. You know, once again, if they are out there, that's great. But we believe that we're the first of our genetic makeup that is running a facility at the magnitude that we're running it. And so what an honor to be recognized. You know, yes, it's, you know, to be recognized as a Black business. I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you so much, Narcy, and everyone who has attended today's conversation.